Hello and welcome. Today we'll be setting up the CNC lathe. So far during my journey as an apprentice, I've spent a lot of time on the CNC lathe. I think it's very cool. I've learnt lots of very interesting things about machining and CNC programming. First step is setting up all the hardware for the workpiece that we're going to be machining. This involves grabbing some jaws. The jaws are used to clamp the workpiece. They are precisely machined to the exact diameter of each different workpiece. This ensures that all of the wheels that we will be running are clamped in exactly the same way. To find out where in the lathe the jaws have to be bolted in, I have to measure the stock material. Our workpiece today is an annoyingly soft casted aluminium. I say annoying because it sticks to all the carbide tools that we have, and I'm constantly removing all the stuck aluminium off the tooling to ensure accurate machining. Using the measurement, I'll select the boring bar tool and put it at the exact diameter, and then I'll line up the jaws to the boring bar to make sure they're in a perfect spot for my workpiece. Once they're in the perfect spot, I'll nip them up. Let's see if the wheel fits. Perfect. So far during my machining experience on the CNC machines, I've spent a lot of time tightening these jaws up and then realizing the wheel doesn't fit, and then I end up loosening them again, which is a big pain in the ass. I've already written this program, and it's a bit boring so I won't show you, but now it's time for some tweaks. I'll make sure in the program has all the right tools that are selected, so we don't end up using the wrong tool to machine with. And now I'll change the work shift. The work shift is basically setting a 0 position at the face of the wheel. I'll rub this piece of paper against the wheel until it becomes wedged as I slowly move the outside diameter turning tool closer to the wheel. And now we'll just minus whatever value needs to be taken off, and boom, there's our 0 position. Now I'll have a look at the drawing and see what tolerances we're dealing with. 0.02 of a mil, that's pretty tight. I need to make sure this 3-prong inside micrometer diameter measuring tool is calibrated properly. Now it's time to do a test run. For this I'll run the machine very slowly and make sure that it doesn't crash into anything. And our off settings will be set far away from the tolerances so that we don't accidentally over machine anything. Now we can take our first measurements. With those measurements in mind, we can make some fine tuning and slowly increase our off settings until they get closer and closer to our tolerance. Now with all of our off settings in place, we can do a final run with all of our measurements very precise. Always double check, double check, double check. Don't ask me how I learnt that.
42.9.
42.99.
Do we have a depth mic?
Yes, we do. I'm too lazy to grab it now, so I'll just use the digital calipers. All of our measurements are correct. Now we can turn the reel around and do the second side. This is the outside diameter turning and facing. It'll switch to the boring bar, make a quick chamfer, do a radius, and then start cutting the boring bar. It'll take 2 passes. 1 deep pass and 1 finishing pass. The aluminium was actually so annoying that I ended up changing the operation so that there were 2 boring bar operation. 1 separate tool for finishing so that the aluminium didn't stick to it and I didn't have to keep removing it over and over again. And boom, here's one wheel and the final product.